Ever wondered how to cook a large ram on firewood? Welcome to the fascinating world of firewood cooking, where the primal meets the gourmet. This ancient art form offers a unique flavor profile that you simply can't replicate with modern cooking methods. Moreover, it's a sustainable and eco-friendly way to prepare your meals. In this video, we'll guide you through the process, from selecting the perfect firewood to the final mouth-watering result. Stay with us as we unravel the mystery of cooking a large ram on firewood. Before you start, it's crucial to know what type of firewood to use. Now, the world of firewood is more diverse than you might think. Each type of wood has a unique set of characteristics that can influence the final taste of your ram. Take hardwoods, for instance. Woods like oak, hickory, and maple are dense and burn slowly, providing a steady heat that's perfect for long, slow cooking. They also impart a rich, smoky flavor that can really elevate your dish. On the other hand, softwoods like pine, cedar, and fir burn faster and hotter, making them less suitable for cooking large pieces of meat. However, they can be useful for getting your fire started. Another interesting option is fruitwood. Apple, cherry, or peach wood can add a subtle, sweet touch to your ram, giving it a unique flavor profile. But remember, choosing the right firewood is the first step to a delicious firewood-cooked ram. Now that we've got our firewood sorted, it's time to prepare our star of the show, the ram. Our first step in this culinary adventure is cleaning our ram. It's essential to ensure that the ram is thoroughly cleaned to maintain the quality of the meat and, of course, for hygiene purposes. Using a sharp knife, carefully remove any remaining fur and rinse the ram under cold running water. Once you're satisfied, pat it dry with a clean towel. Next, we marinate. Marinating is a critical step that is often overlooked, but it's the secret to infusing our ram with a myriad of flavors. Start by making deep cuts into the meat to allow the marinade to seep in. For the marinade, we're using a mix of classic herbs and spices: rosemary, thyme, garlic, and a generous amount of salt and pepper. Rub this mixture all over the ram, ensuring every nook and cranny is covered. Leave it to rest, allowing the flavors to permeate the meat. This could take a few hours, but trust me, the wait is worth it. While our ram is marinating, let's prepare it for cooking. In traditional firewood cooking, we use a rotisserie setup. This involves skewering the ram and setting it up to rotate over the fire. First, ensure your hands are clean. Then, take a sturdy, clean metal rod and carefully insert it through the ram, from the neck to the rear. Make sure it's secure and balanced, as we don't want our star tipping over during the cooking process. Remember, patience is key when preparing the ram. Each step is essential, from cleaning to marinating to setting it up for cooking. By giving each step the attention it deserves, we're setting the stage for a flavorful, succulent ram that will be the centerpiece of our meal. With the ram ready, we can now move to the exciting part: cooking. Setting up the fire correctly is crucial for a perfect cook. It's not just about piling up some logs and lighting a match. It's about understanding the fire, controlling the heat, and most importantly, ensuring safety. First off, let's talk about arranging the firewood. Start by creating a base layer of larger logs, then add a second layer of medium-sized pieces, and finally a top layer of smaller kindling wood. This pyramid structure will ensure a long-lasting fire that burns evenly. Now let's talk about controlling the heat. This is where the art of firewood cooking really shines. You see, unlike a gas or electric stove where you can simply turn a knob to adjust the temperature, with firewood cooking, you control the heat by managing the amount and arrangement of the wood. Need more heat? Add more wood. Need less heat? Spread out the logs to reduce the intensity. But what about safety? Well, never underestimate the importance of safety when dealing with fire. Always have a bucket of water or a fire extinguisher handy. Keep flammable materials away from the fire and never leave it unattended. And remember, patience is key. A good fire needs time to develop, so don't rush it. Take your time to nurture it, to understand it. With a well-set fire, we're one step closer to our delicious feast. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for: cooking the ram. We've prepared our ram, set up our fire, and now it's time to get cooking. The dance of fire and food begins, a delightful symphony that will result in a beautifully cooked ram, rich in flavor and tender in texture. First, place your prepared ram on the grill grate. Remember to position it a safe distance from the flames. We don't want to scorch our beautiful ram. We are aiming for a slow, steady cook that will allow the flavors to deepen and the meat to become succulent. As the fire licks the underbelly of the grate, you'll start to hear a sizzle. That's music to a chef's ears. It's the sound of the ram beginning to cook, the heat breaking down the fibers of the meat, and the spices mingling with the natural juices. Turning the ram is an art. It's not just about giving each side its fair share of the heat. It's about understanding the anatomy of the ram. Different parts cook at different rates. The thicker sections need more time than the thinner ones. So pay attention to the shape of your ram and turn it accordingly. Now let's talk about firewood. During this process, the fire will naturally start to dwindle. When you see the flames begin to shrink, it's time to add more firewood. But remember, we're not trying to create a bonfire here. Add just enough to keep the fire at a steady, manageable level. Too much heat can cause the outside of the ram to cook too quickly, leaving the inside undercooked. How do you know when the ram is done? Well, it's not just about time, it's about temperature and tenderness. Use a meat thermometer to check the internal temperature. For a ram, you're looking for a temperature of about 145 degrees Fahrenheit, but don't rely solely on the thermometer. Feel the meat. It should be firm but yield slightly under pressure. And of course, the visual cues. The outside should be a beautiful golden brown and the juices should run clear when you make a small incision. Remember, cooking on firewood is not just about the end product, it's about the process. The dance of the flames, the smell of the smoke, the sizzle of the meat. It's about patience and attentiveness. It's about understanding the nuances of the fire and the subtleties of the meat. So take your time, enjoy the process, and when you finally pull that beautifully cooked ram off the grill, you'll understand why this method of cooking is so cherished. And there you have it, a perfectly cooked ram on firewood. The taste, the aroma, the texture, it's a sensory experience like no other. A testament to the power of fire and the beauty of slow, attentive cooking. The final step is to serve your delicious firewood-cooked ram. It's not just about plopping it on a plate. There's an art to carving that can enhance the dining experience. Start from the shoulder, using a sharp knife to cut thin, even slices. This will help retain the juices and ensure every bite is as tender as can be. Pair your ram with sides that complement its smoky flavor. Roasted vegetables are a classic choice, their natural sweetness balancing the robust meat. A fresh salad can add a crisp contrast, while a hearty grain dish like quinoa or rice can help soak up the flavorful juices. Don't forget the leftovers. They can be stored in an airtight container in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 days. Reheat gently to avoid drying out the meat, and you can enjoy your firewood-cooked ram all week long. And that's it. Now you know how to cook a large ram on firewood. Happy cooking! Let's take a quick recap of what we've learned today. We've journeyed through the intriguing art of firewood cooking, discovering its unique charm and rustic appeal. We've learned the importance of choosing the right firewood, ensuring it's dry and seasoned for the best results. We've also delved into the preparation of the ram, which involves careful cleaning, marinating, and seasoning. Remember, the preparation is just as important as the cooking process itself. Setting up the fire was our next step, learning to create a robust and steady fire, perfect for slow roasting our ram. Then came the most exciting part, cooking the ram. We learned how to keep the ram turning for even cooking and how to check for doneness. Finally, we wrapped up by serving the ram, adding the finishing touches to make it a showstopper. With these steps and tips, you're all set to impress your guests with a delicious firewood-cooked ram. Until next time, keep the fire burning.